Welcome back to Studio 5. So over the last couple of weeks on this show, we've talked about how the stress of Christmas and all that comes with it can really impact you. But have you ever stopped to think about the impact that holiday hustle and bustle can have on your relationship? My next guest says it takes a conscious effort to keep the love alive during the holiday season. Studio 5 contributor Dr. Matt Townsend joins me. Do you see a lot of couples kind of crumble this time of year?
Well, they hold it. They can hold on to it.
Okay.
But then January, it's just a mess.
All the stress hits the fan.
And it all hits the fan. In fact, really, my business easily doubles in January.
Post-holiday, really.
And divorce rates go up. Almost everything goes up right then because it's like, let's get through this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way. So here's what you do. This is my favorite idea in the world.
What?
You ask Santa for a better relationship with your spouse. And if you have to, you go sit on his lap.
At the mall.
You put your arms around that old man and you say, hey, I really want a better relationship this year. So that's all I want for Christmas. Let's just work on connecting and being more connected to each other.
I gotta imagine there's value in not just having Santa hear those words, but having your partner hear that commitment
totally.
too.
And even, so take him to the mall too with you.
Make him sit on Santa's lap.
But what if all of a sudden you made our only goal to get better together? To get connected and to be more attentive, to be more loving, to be more caring. And then once we do that, there's just 4 simple tricks that I would work on.
And these tricks will also help us get through the Christmas season, right? Not just long term, but right now.
Well, and what's really cool is once you kind of get into these ideas, it's, in reality, this is where everything that's joyful and triumphant is going to take place. It's already going to happen in the relationship. So if our relationships suffer, buy all the gifts you want. The relationships, if they're suffering, everything's suffering.
All right, first you want us to take a lesson from our Christmas past, present, and future. What do you mean by that?
Remember the old ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. Before you ever got married, you had a lot of history, a lot of really cool things going on. You had a lot of memories of what made Christmas great. I'd start having conversations with your significant other about those good old days.
About Christmases before he was even in your life?
Before he ever entered your life, what used to be so great about it? What was the most exciting thing about it? Was it the smell? Was it the sights? What was it? Because all of a sudden, if that's what we're talking about, now your partner can start to relive those ideas with you and even maybe connect with you on those. Talk about the great joys, talk about the letdowns, the presents that weren't quite right, and you'll get to know each other a little bit better. That's past. You could also talk about your dating past and the great Christmases that you shared together. Like, do you remember when you were first married? It was a lot easier. You were so much more excited. So much was easier back then. Talk about those days. Talk about the present. What's working in our relationship that we really want to make sure we keep doing? And then talk about the future. If Santa came, sprinkled his magic dust on your marriage, what would it look like if it was a perfect 10 relationship? And talk about what that would look like. Don't talk about what wouldn't happen anymore. Talk about what it would look like if Santa made it a 10.
So the D's, the do's, the woulds, what would it look like?
Exactly. And so that's past, present, and future. And once you have those conversations, your brain starts to see that it's pretty good. There's a lot of good about this stuff.
For women, a lot of holiday stress comes from this idea of traditions. We love traditions. They're so important for your family. But sometimes you make the point that wives and mothers can take these traditions to the extreme.
And just because you love to shop doesn't mean I love to shop. So you've got to be sensitive to your holiday extremes and how they impact everyone else. Just because you love to decorate 6 trees in your home.
You do?
No. Well, you should see our tree. We have one tree. It's about 15 years old. And it's tiny. In relation to our living room. And so it just, honestly, we just are laid back. And so, but if you like to shop and I don't, it doesn't mean I need to shop. If you want to go to every party for 3 hours a party, it doesn't mean I need to. So it doesn't mean we can't have our extremes. It's just don't let your extreme crush out my holiday spirit. And also, if I also know that I tend to just want to veg and kick back, don't let that extreme ruin it for my wife.
But can I ask you, where do we strike that balance of togetherness? Because let's say, I'll use myself as an example. Hypothetically, shopping gets me in the Christmas spirit. I love the crowds. I love the hustle and bustle. Maybe my husband doesn't, but that's how I get into the Christmas spirit, and I'd like to do it with him. So what's the balance of that buy-in?
I would let him go with you for a half hour to the mall. No, but I would split it up, and I would say, I'm going to go with you. We just can't go for 9 hours. So if you want me to go, I'd love to go, and maybe halfway through, let's go do lunch, and then you can pick up some more friends or pick up your sister and go hang out and go shop with your parents or whatever. So I would figure out a way to do it together, but don't make it torture. The minute you take it beyond their capacity, you're going to lose their desire next year. So sometimes what we're doing with holidays this year is setting up next year. So be careful about your extremes and even your extreme avoidance. So I would always say, for any of you out there that avoid everything like I try to, I always try to do everything, and then I have a rule that I can leave when it's just too much.
Okay.
So I try to go to everything I can.
Okay.
But usually I'll just end up liking it when I get there,
Right.
and then I end up staying. But after doing that 5 times, I'm done.
But you give yourself the mental permission that as soon as I hit that point, I'm going to walk out the door.
Or I'll just dismiss myself and go sit on a bench for an hour and play on my phone while my wife shops 5 more stores.
Got it. Got it. There are some things, though, you say that women could ask for help.
Yeah.
You know, getting done
please.
or ticking off the to-do
That's
list
it.
with.
And one of the big keys of this is we want to make sure that this is a holiday that we're sharing, right? We want to make sure we're sharing it, not just one-sided. And a lot of times the ladies out there kind of do it one-sided because it's easier for them.
And then the resentment starts to build.
And then they hate you and your Christmas.
Could you do that again? The little head shudder? Oh my gosh.
That's like that. Yeah, that got ugly. Sorry. I was channeling something really bad right
I don't want to know what.
Don't ask.
Okay.
But we want to make sure it's a shared holiday. So you got to know that your husband would love to help if he knew. So maybe give more opportunities for them to know, talk more about what needs to be done, make more plans, make more lists together, divide and conquer at times. Many times your partner would love to walk away from you and all the chaos and go do 5 or 6 things on a list. Let him just go target and hit out some things that don't matter maybe, or that just need to get done. But do it together, make the list together. And if all of a sudden we want to make our relationship better, let's make sure we're talking to each other about one way to do that is let's be together on everything we're doing, not physically, but our mind share is going to be together on this holiday season.
Love it.
I'm going to know all the presents my kids are getting. I will have bought or helped to buy a few. I'm going to take them to go see Santa. I'm going to do all of these things, and I'm going to be a part of it instead of just being the wife spinning and the husband watching the spinning wife.
Love it. You say this, that was a good metaphor, actually. You say this is the season to over-communicate to your spouse.
If there's any time on earth we want to over-communicate, it's right now. Now we're going to start talking more. We're going to start doing more, sharing more. And one of my favorite things is you can communicate your love by just simple little clues. Leave clues to each other that you love each other. So if my wife is a seer, I need to make sure this season that she can see me doing everything I can be doing, and I want her to see it. And that's a clue. Me vacuuming underneath the tree for the 4th time, even though our tree's fake, it shouldn't be doing that, but I still gotta vacuum it. If I'm vacuuming, it's a clue that I love her, and she needs to look for the clues. So start leaving more clues. If your husband's a toucher, touch more. You can touch in the mall and it won't go anywhere. You can do stuff like that and touch and touch. And if they're a hearer, talk about how great they are. If they're a senser, spend time and leave the clues. But more importantly, notice the clues that are being left. Try every day to find 2 or 3 things that were clues during the season that your partner loved you.
Awesome.
Makes sense? If they're working
Matt.
hard to show you, you got to see the clues.
We do these 4 things. We'll keep the love alive during the holidays and hopefully prevent your office from filling up fast in January.
Which is, I don't want, but I do want.
Well, yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
That's right.
Hey, you have a great gift idea, a really unique idea that parents can give their adult children.
Our biggest date night we do is on Valentine's Day. And so a great activity or thing you might want to give away for a present is get your adult kids together, buy them tickets to our date night. Just go to datenightswithmatt.com. Bring the entire family on Valentine's Day. We'll usually have entertainment and fun. We'll laugh. Tons of skills and tools to strengthen relationships. And you'll do it as a present.
Love it. You can get those seats now.
Yep,
I think it's a great gift idea. Matt, thank you so much.